Hi everyone, thank you, Quinn. So now let me share my screen. So before I move on to today's topic, I want to remind everyone that if you want to recap to our previous topic, to my previous talk, you can go to ELKEN Story, the YouTube channel, to search for it, and there are many languages provided as well. So now we'll be looking at eating well during pregnancy. How should we take care of our nutrients intake and diet during pregnancy? So why do we need to pay attention to our nutrients during pregnancy? Firstly, we need to ensure that the fetal and development is healthy in order to have a normal weight infant, as only normal weight infants are healthy. So therefore, whenever you go to prenatal visits, you would always have to check if the mom is having appropriate weight gain during pregnancy, because slow or fast weight gain might bring some health conditions to the mom, and it would affect the fetal development as well. So besides that, we also want to intake proper nutrients so as to minimize the health risk to moms that occurs during or even after pregnancy. So besides that, we would also have to look at the additional energy, vitamin, and mineral requirements needed during pregnancy, as it would affect the health of the newborns as well as the mom. So how much to eat during pregnancy? Because some people will say that, oh, moms have to eat 2 servings as you're eating for yourself and the baby as well. So actually, pregnancies are divided into trimesters. And so there is the first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester. During the first trimester, you don't really need any additional nutrients, just the amount you usually need to intake. But for the second trimester, which is the 14th to 26th week of pregnancy, there would be an additional of 360 calories per day. So during the third trimester, the additional intake per day would be up to 470 kcal. So this 470 kcal isn't like, oh, after the second trimester, add an additional of 470 to the 360. Instead, it's after the second trimester, in total, you just add up to 470 calories. So 110 calories more than the second trimester. So how do we calculate the calories? So 360 calories is equivalent to 1 scoop of rice and 1 piece of bread. And actually, for like pregnant women, they tend to have constipation as well. So 1 serving of maybe stir-fried veggies, or like 1 serving of fruits like orange or kiwi or apples, or if you go outside and you drink half a cup of coffee. And so for 1 serving of fruits is about like the size of your palm, and add 1 cup of milk as well. So together, all these are around 360 calories. Of course, you don't need to eat rice or bread. You can also substitute rice with like 1 serving of noodles, or like you can substitute 1 piece of bread with 3 pieces of soda crackers. And of course, veggies and fruits, you can just choose whatever, as long as it's 1 serving. So like maybe some of you all don't drink milk, but don't worry, we'll talk about that later. So during the third trimester, you just need to add an additional 110 calories, which is equivalent to a cup of low-fat milk. So maybe some moms are lactose intolerant and can't drink milk. Well, it's okay, because you can substitute it into other things like an egg, or 1 serving of meat, which is about half the size of your palm. So you can do these kind of substitutions. You don't have to have rice or have to have bread. Just eat whatever that suits your taste or appetite, as long as it's the same serving. So what are the key nutrients for a healthy pregnancy and why do we need them? So indeed, there are some nutrients that we need to add during pregnancy. So first, calcium. Before, as mentioned earlier, we encourage to drink milk because it's full of calcium. So before pregnancy, we only need 800 milligrams a day, but during pregnancy, we need 1,000 milligrams. So how do we obtain 1,000 milligrams of calcium? Well, you can get it from milk or like dairy products such as yogurt or cheese. But if you're vegan, you can also opt for soy milk or beans or like green veggies, as they also contains calcium. And so besides that, you can also consume supplements if it's difficult for you to reach this requirement. So the next one is folic acid. And before pregnancy, we only need 400 micrograms. But during pregnancy, there needs to be an additional of 200 micrograms. So folic acid can be found in many veggies, but it might lose its essence due to different cooking methods. So you should start consuming folic acid when you are prepping for pregnancy, as it helps your baby to prevent congenital skull and spine malformations. And insufficient folic acid would cause harm to fetal development. And so it would affect their spine or their skull. So they would become like malformation or something. So you should start consuming folic acid before you even get pregnant, like so when you are preparing to conceive. So the third one is iron. And actually iron, so for iron, during our first trimester, we need around 20 milligrams, but for the second and third trimester, doctors would recommend 100 milligrams of iron supplements. So actually, in Malaysia, 1 out of 3 pregnant women are found to have iron deficiency and anemia. So it's really important to replenish on iron during pregnancy. So during this time, pregnant women should consume foods rich in iron, such as red meat, but maybe you're vegetarians. You can also consume veggies such as dark green veggies, nuts, or like raisins, because all of them are rich in iron. But consuming on veggies would take a longer time as compared to consuming meat. So a little tip here, to allow moms to better absorb iron, you can consume orange juice when you're eating foods that are rich in iron, like orange juice or lemon juice, because vitamin C can boost absorption of iron, but don't drink tea or coffee, as it would do the opposite. So just this tiny action, this change of tiny habit can help you to boost your iron absorption. So the next one is omega-3. Omega-3 is very important as it is for fetus's eyes, brain, and nerves development. So actually, besides that, many studies also found that if moms have low omega-3 levels during and after pregnancy, they might have a higher risk of getting postpartum depression. So actually, for calcium as well, if you don't replenish on calcium, it would affect your bones. So according to the recommendation over at the US, it is recommended to have 2 to 3 serving of deep sea fishes per week. So that's about 200 milligrams to 300 milligrams. And one common one is salmon. But we know that in Asian countries, it's really rare for us to consume 2 to 3 servings of deep sea fishes per week. So it is recommended to consume on supplements. So as it is recommended to consume 200 milligrams to 300 milligrams of DHA or DHA and EPA. And there are some things that pregnant moms should avoid. So though we say that deep sea fishes are important, there are some that we should avoid, such as the larger ones, like sharks, king mackerel, tilefish, or orange roughy, as they contain mercury. And mercury is a toxin that would affect our nervous system. So originally the fishes don't have the mercury, but because of the water, the sea, it might contain some harmful elements, so it would affect the fishes as well. So having too much mercury in your body would affect fetal development and lead to congenital malformations. So you should avoid large predator fishes. And it would affect your nervous system. So what should we eat? Well, you can eat like the smaller ones, such as salmon, shrimps, or like tuna, or squid, sardines. So all these are safe for you to consume. Just the small ones are okay, but don't eat the big ones. So another question. Okay, it depends on like the mom's body themselves. So like some might have morning sickness or like acid reflux, which leads to inability to intake enough nutrients, as they would puke out whatever they eat. So what should we do? To ensure that the fetus gets enough nutrients, mom should eat smaller portions and more frequent meals, as it would decrease the burden for their stomachs. And also take fluids in between meals, not during meals, as drinking while you feel like puking would make you want to puke even more. So maybe drink water 1 to 2 hours after meals. And also when you drink water, you should take it sip by sip and don't like chug it or like drink it in big gulps. So another one is you should reduce intake of spicy or high fat foods, as they would cause more stomach discomfort. And lastly, if your morning sickness is severe, you should consider taking supplements, because if you're unable to eat foods to replenish on your nutrients, you should consume on supplements, because don't see that it's really tiny, but actually it contains like a lot of nutrients in that one tiny tablet. So through these supplements, you can obtain rich nutrients that wouldn't cause too much burden to your stomach. So one example you can consider is Spirulina, such as in tablet form or like powder form. So actually, for some pregnant moms, drinking water is difficult for them. So for that, you can opt for fruit juices. And if drinking milk makes you uneasy, you can also opt for yogurt with fruits that you like. And actually, I forgot to mention earlier just now, you should avoid raw meat or raw foods. So how can pregnant women benefit from Spirulina? And how does Spirulina help with pregnant women and with the infant, with the fetus? So there's a research in South Africa. So we know that the countries in this area, in this continent, are poorer, right? And as mentioned earlier, in Malaysia, 1 out of 3 of pregnant women have iron deficiency. So can you imagine in these kind of poorer countries? So over here for this study, they have two groups of pregnant moms that are being observed. So one of the group consumes 1,500 milligrams of spirulina a day. And the second group consumes 90 milligrams of iron supplements and 1 milligrams of folic acid supplements. So for this research, it is a sample size of 920 pregnant women. So they started during the second trimester, and they found that those who replenished on spirulina is more effective than iron and folic acid supplementation in improving hemoglobinemia, hence preventing and treating anemia. So actually, spirulina are a natural product that's accessible to many. So spirulina is an element that can strengthen maternal and newborn health interventions in developing countries. So this means that spirulina is beneficial for moms during and after pregnancies, as well as newborn babies, especially in poorer countries where sourcing for enough nutrients is more difficult. So I want to let everyone know why this research started from the second trimester. So actually this has something to do with the ethics. So they can't start right when the woman gets pregnant, as this is unethical for scientists to prevent pregnant women, from replenishing on the normal nutrients intake right when they get pregnant. So this study can only start from the second trimester. There are also many studies conducted in poorer countries on spirulina supplements. So one was like, would spirulina supplementation help with the performance of school children? And there are actually two studies that supports this statement, and published research supports the use of spirulina as a way to improve both the health and academic abilities of malnourished school children. And besides replenishing on spirulina during pregnancy, if you want your kids to maintain healthiness or excel in academic performance, you can have them to replenish on spirulina. So why do we say that spirulina can help with the malnutrition or for pregnant women in poorer countries? So actually, spirulina is rich in nutrients. There are 5 major nutrients that it contains that we need, such as minerals, vitamins, and protein. They're actually plant protein. So there's also carbohydrates and fats, as well as omega-3 and 6. So spirulina contains all the major nutrients that we need. Of course, not all spirulina brands are equal in enhancing health benefits. So how is ELKEN spirulina different from other brands? In Malaysia, ELKEN spirulina, we know that the protein and vitamins in ELKEN spirulina surpasses other brands. And so this is why in Malaysia, ELKEN spirulina had ranked #1 for 10 years consecutively. So you can say that ELKEN spirulina is truly a trusted brand. So ELKEN spirulina is also organic certified. Actually, this certification is important for spirulina supplements, as some people might be concerned about the hygiene of the manufacturing processes. So having this organic certification ensures that its manufacturing processes is safe without any polluted elements. And of course, it is also endorsed by scientists from Japan, the JHNFA and IMSAM. So actually, like an example would be Dr. Yasumasa, who conducted a study on the ELKEN spirulina. So ELKEN spirulina is also supported by 12 clinical studies, which are conducted by several scientists and has gotten numerous local and international accolades. So in 2017 and 2019, and it had gotten the Malaysia Health and Wellness Brand Awards. So for ELKEN Spirulina, there are two forms. One is in tablet forms and another one is powder form. So many are probably confused as to how we should consume the powder form. Actually, powder form is easier to use, especially for pregnant women, kids or elderlies, or those with don't have as much appetite. And you can add this powdered form spirulina into many foods. So if pregnant moms have morning sickness or loss of appetite, you can add the spirulina into like fruit juices, or you can add them into other beverages, pudding or chia seeds, yogurt, or mix it with diced eggs on toast, pesto sauce, smoothies, or mix it in soup. You can just add it in just anything. So just a simple step, a small spoonful can help you replenish many nutrients. And it is a zero burden supplement as you can enjoy nutritional foods without much hassle. So it's very suitable for pregnant moms. So that's it for my sharing. Thank you.